Unless you're driving, in which case definitely put your phone down because you don't want to be in one of our videos. Let's take a look. In the metro area, we've had half a snowfall. I wouldn't even call it our first snowfall yet, but it gave just a little bit of slickness to the surface there, and you can see some bad driving was followed by some very good driving, really incredible driving to avoid that. And what I like about this is this driver has the peace of mind to know, hey, stop blocking traffic, let's get on our way. Even though I got so scared, they had the peace of mind to get out, stop blocking traffic, and get back on their way, and there's no damage to anyone's vehicles. Next up, I think this is Highway 169 northbound, and you can see that right lane comes to a close. We'll zoom in and show it again. Roads like this, it's like a highway, but then it turns into an arterial with stoplights, and there's also this big kind of clover loop intersection there, and boom, there's the contact, and it looks like 3 vehicles involved. Some of these clover leaves, the design of them, it's a very tight merging space, which causes a lot of slowdowns because there's no way to get over early. Lots of people out of their vehicles, and this is like a quasi-freeway. We think this is probably pretty reckless or careless. You do want to be in your car with your seatbelt on probably as much as possible. We know maybe you need to exchange information, make sure people aren't hurt. I-35W near the Johnson Street exit, any freeway in a major metro that has a big curve on it is always a bit risky, and this is no different. It was in the top corner of your screen. We zoom in here. We don't really know the root cause, but couple of cars making contact, sliding into each other, and it's a little hard to see, but there's a wheel that says, hey, I'm out of here. There's a tire that says, enough for me, I'm out. And then the camera controls, this is the Regional Transportation Management Center. A lot of metro areas have something like this. Zooms in on the crash, figures out what's going on. They've got a caller on the line, perhaps. This is an operator with a caller on the line who's reporting this crash, zooming in, trying to get additional information and get some help out there. Not a major crash, but they're able to get tow trucks out there and the first responder, which is the helper. One more, this is 394, kind of in the middle of the metro, a little bit on the east side, just east of Minneapolis. And this one is captured right underneath the camera. We don't know fully what caused this one, but if you were to look at that again, I think there's a bit of an oversteer on there or an overcorrection, causing them to go too much to the right, make contact with the fencing or the barrier there on the right, and ultimately result in the crash. Now, State Patrol is going to come out on this, and because it's on a curve, kind of a blind curve that it's like an S curve a little bit, and they're going to, I thought this was clever, to just increase that visibility. Here's the state trooper, and setting up about more than half dozen, eight flares there to really increase that visibility and make sure that we have a safe area for working and responding to this crash. If you're like me, you're wondering what could possibly go wrong. Well-lit area, lots of space, but someone was not paying enough attention, it seems, and just kept going straight, even though there's a little bit of a curve. So well-lit, great surface conditions. I don't know if they fully had their headlights on. It looks like their taillights were off, so maybe they were just using their daytime driving lights, so maybe they weren't really paying attention. Maybe there's some other chemical events that are resulting in issues related to their driving, if you understand what I'm saying. Another thing, if you look at that again, you'll see braking on this was very, very late. Very late, very minimal, very slow reaction times. Went well off the roadway, but this really went much better than anyone could have ever expected, and that's thanks to freeways and cars being built the way they are. Now we're closer to downtown. One of my favorite camera views with the background. You can see some of the beautiful sections of beautiful downtown Minneapolis and St. Paul a little bit in the background. But we had a bit of an issue, and I think this was a lane change that went wrong, someone not looking at what's next to them. And we did get a little bit unlucky here, so that concrete barrier on that right lane, it does jet out. It's kind of a gentle abutment that comes out to hold up that sign. And you can see we did have fire department and EMS personnel respond, and a fair amount of front-end damage to the vehicle. The way first responders set up on crashes like this is once the fire engine has arrived, they set up to the back to give maximum protection to the rest of the first responders. Now, this next video, it's and take a look at this car as it goes off the roadway. You're going to see that cabling take into effect and prevent them from going into oncoming traffic, keep them safely in the median. And what we really have here is a car just off the road, maybe some mild front end damage, but that's what's so beautiful about those almost elastic high tension barriers in the median. And again, this was the same day we had just a little bit of snow. It didn't even stay for more than 12 hours, but it was enough to make those roadways slick. Right lane, the exit lane, there's an exit coming up, right lane is slowing down, and we have some late braking action, and then this car coming up behind clearly not paying attention, very late reaction time, and they smush into the car in front of them. You hear this reminders all the time, put the phone down, be focused, especially when you're seeing brake lights in front of you, especially when you're coming into traffic that's slowing down. Car's leaking from the radiator fluid, but good presence of mind to get the car out of the way as much as possible. If we're in a good place, that's a good sign that there aren't any type of injuries with this. We're in a good place of mind to get our car off the roadway. If we can do that, if someone's injured, those injuries would take priority over trying to clear the roadway. University Ave, southbound in the city of Fridley. This is North Metro. And there's a reason why we put these two crashes back to back. It's so we can see and kind of reinforce. You've got braking traffic slowing down ahead of you. Really, you are going to get instant karma if you start checking your phone or you're not paying attention, not giving your driving the attention that it deserves. This is another great place where it does help to have emergency braking on your vehicles. You see newer vehicles with the adaptive cruise and the emergency braking. I think these are great features to have on your vehicle. Insurance Institute for Highway Safety shows that they drop front-end crashes by 20, 25, maybe 30% on some models. So it's not perfect, but it does help here and there and help drive down crash numbers and protect occupants. Look in the top left-hand corner of your screen. It's going to happen partially off camera, but what I like about this one is how many people came out to help. We'll show it to you again, zoom in. Don't give up on this here, because the best part of this clip is yet to come. Lots of people, now don't stop in the middle of the road. It looks like there's a car that's blocking that middle lane there. Please don't do that. See if you can, and maybe they're involved, but please, if possible, drive your car off. But look at how many Minnesotans come out. This is on a weekend or holiday. So maybe some of these people are religious, but lots of people now, maybe it's kind of a spectacular crash because, maybe it looks spectacular, but lots, 10, 20 people out there trying to help. And eventually we kind of get first responders on scene. You can see there's quite a bit of a mess there. I-94 in Brooklyn Center, Brooklyn Park. It's in the top right corner of your screen. We'll zoom in and show it again. This is someone running a red light. And this is an arterial. Thankfully, it's on the back portion of the vehicle. They're not directly striking right into a passenger compartment, which definitely helps. And arterials are so risky because you have higher speeds, sometimes up to 55 miles an hour or higher. People are going 65 or 70, and there are stoplights. Here's another arterial in the metro. Now, the white car, I thought they did a great job with their braking action to really slow down the forces involved. And another thing that's really nice about these videos that hang over these arterial stoplights is you can see quite clearly who is at fault. One car making that left turn was clearly going through a red light. We tried to figure out if the car that was at fault ended up leaving the scene. Wasn't quite clear to us. It looked like maybe they drove off, but then maybe they made contact with the driver there. Not quite sure. The driver of the white car, though, is going to end up also leaving the scene. So they zoomed in, no one's actually in the car, it's blocking a lane of traffic, and the black car that was at fault has also left the scene. So not quite sure the story here, but definitely an unusual experience. And if you're curious, that was on a weekend night, so chemical inebriation could have been a factor. One more, we see this time and time again, traffic slowing in the right lane, someone's not paying attention, and they're going to end up being short a tire and the front of their car. I said before, I called it the first truck, and I said that they're a helper. I should have been more specific. This is a DOT first responder. But you see these across the country in lots of metro areas where they're kind of these, in Indiana, you might call them a highway helper. One more, arterial, and maybe this won't surprise you, but it's going to be that right lane at the top of your screen, the white truck hauling a trailer behind it, slowing down, and someone is not going to respond in time, presumably because they're not quite fully paying attention to what's going on, because these are great conditions, clear visibility, obviously, a completely preventable crash. They're also going to block that lane of traffic, and they have, looks like a family member outside the vehicle. I mean, they did move off to the side, but it's probably best to just move your vehicle off the roadway if it's drivable, and then stay buckled in, and then just be out if you need to exchange information or something. And here it is, Lorry Tunnel. We think this is one of the most risky freeway tunnels in the United States. It's because it's a combination of things. It's got a sharp turn in there, it's multiple lanes, there's tons of traffic that comes through here, and that all kind of contributes to crashes. We've got to watch this one again and count the number of spins. This is, you think that it's over, and then it just kind of keeps going and going. It looks like they got the gear shift stuck in reverse, so they ended up spinning out a little bit more. I like that they tried to move their vehicle, and you see the trooper. Troopers arrived on scene. They've got their squad there blocking traffic. And even that trooper, even with their lights on, with all those rear lights, they know this is a sharp corner. Let's see if we can clear this crash. We'll do the crash investigation down the roadway where we can get fully off the road, and it's much safer to do that crash investigation. So I really like the focus on clearing this crash, especially since it's blocking, especially since it's around a blind corner, to help promote safety, prevent a secondary collision, and protect those involved. If you're feeling discouraged, not to worry, because we've got some bad drivers that get caught on camera and get hit with some instant karma. This is someone who was trying to pass on the left, went up on the curb. You know, it's a one-lane roadway, so they couldn't squeeze past, ended up striking the other vehicle. Definitely got a citation on that one and ended up with higher insurance because of it. Here's someone else trying to cut across. You're supposed to just merge in there, not cut across the intersection like that. And they felt the instant effect of their poor driving decisions. Take a look again. The intersection is clearly under construction, and this is someone who tried to cheat and got busted, felt the immediate effects of it, and hopefully learned a lesson. I do give both drivers credit for getting off to the side of the road since there were no injuries of significance, and stop blocking traffic. Allow traffic to get through safely. Took me a while to figure out what was going on here, but we've got a semi-tractor trailer that is slowly, over the course of a half mile or quarter mile, losing its bales of hay and dropping them off the freeway. I'm not quite sure what the lesson here is, other than be sure to strap down your stuff. Even an ambulance responding to a separate incident had to go around those bales of hay. And this car, maybe it's a good reminder to have all-wheel drive so you can get through not just the snow, but the occasional bales of hay on our freeways. At MN Safety, we believe knowledge is power, especially when it comes to public safety. And that seeing is believing. That's why we put such a big emphasis on live videos of real events. Please support our mission by liking, subscribing, and sharing our videos. Subscribing is free, and you can always unsubscribe. If there's something you don't like, please leave a comment. We try to read each and every one.